That is my favoritist. It's a word now. Favoritist. Is that a word? It's a word now. That is my mostest favoritist game ever.
Yeah.
If you never played Carrom board, please try it.
Oh Kiddan! Yo, what up, people? Welcome back to the Oh Kiddan podcast. I'm your host, Tej, and guess who's back?
Guess who's back again. All right, what's going on, man? Hey, before we start, right? You got the formalities out of the way? Yes, sir. All right.
So today it's gonna be a really fun topic.
Is it? Okay.
We're gonna talk about all these games.
We got all these games on here.
Yep.
And it's like, I see a lot of my childhood here. I see a lot of like me growing up playing these little games, not little games, but these very popular mainstream and just throwback games that I think a lot of us grew up with. Maybe not your generation as much because we didn't have, smartphones to do stuff like that. So we had to do old fashioned, get the board out, then clean it up later.
Okay.
We just set time aside for stuff like that. We didn't have the smartphone stuff, the apps and all that.
These games.
But it feels good to see all this, right? I like seeing all this.
Yep.
So, sir, where are we starting? What are we doing?
So
we're gonna talk about what are we actually doing though? We're talking about these games, kind of like how they relate to what
how they
life.
how they relate to life, and just talking about our experiences with them.
Okay.
And the general game, how it's played too.
Okay, and then hopefully like the people watching, they have their own experiences with used to play with their parents back when they were younger or whatever. Do they still play now?
Yeah.
Is somebody the man or the woman or the he and the him
Yeah,
and the her? Are you the him at chess?
So different.
All right. Are you the her at chess or Uno?
Yeah.
Or cubing?
Yeah.
Jenga, dominoes,
cards.
just cards,
Yeah.
and a bunch of other stuff. I think you have here.
Yep.
So let's find out. Let's find out.
So let's kick things off with something that relates to basketball too, a lot.
Okay.
And it is my personal favorite board game,
Okay.
chess.
Really?
Yep.
Chess is your personal favorite?
Yep.
Oh, I thought something else was your personal favorite. So I learned something new.
But I said board game. I said board game.
Details matter.
Yeah.
The details matter.
So my favorite board game is chess.
Chess, okay.
But off of this whole table, it's something else.
Got it. So chess is your favorite. Let me ask you why.
So because you have to think steps ahead, and it's really strategic, and it's like you need to make your move based on what they're gonna do, and kind of thinking, if I do this, they're gonna do that, and thinking more steps ahead.
So you're thinking like really a few steps ahead.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming is, well, not assuming, which is very close to how basketball sports is, right?
Yep.
Or at least competitive sports, whether you play a team sport or you play solo sport, you still have to think ahead.
Yep.
Right? Whatever sport that is, it is a strategic advantage if you think ahead.
Yep.
And this is a solo sport. We can call it it's a mental sport.
Yeah. So it's like in basketball, if you make a move, you need to think ahead. And if the defense counters that move, you need to have your counter to that move.
And then sometimes you may need a counter to the counter, to the counter, to the counter.
Yeah.
Right? And the person that has the most ability or skills that they've developed to be able to do those, they can do those counters, right? Because if you never worked on a left hand, you ain't countering nothing.
Yeah.
The only thing you're countering the ball turnover. That's what you're going to counter. Right? Your counter is going to lead to a turnover or a missed shot or something that's not in your favor.
Yep.
Would that be a fair statement?
Yep.
All right.
Sure.
So no, I completely agree. Completely. And like every game, there are details.
Yep.
There's strategy.
Yep, for sure.
There's trash talk.
Trash
right?
talk, yeah.
There's getting in your opponent's head.
Yep.
Right? Making him or her think that I'm gonna do something.
Yeah.
When there's a backup move planned.
Yep.
And you're hoping they don't realize it.
Yeah,
right?
that's
And it's all in plain sight.
Yep.
So it's a very like, right? Because basketball is you make a move and then you kind of go off of what's happening. in the sense that, yeah, you could set things up for sure, right? If I set you up with a pump fake here, or if I drop a 3 in your face, next time and I'm going to drop another 3 in your face. All right, but the third time, you're not going to let me do that.
Yeah, because I'm going to jump and not.
And now I got to work on a pump fake or a punch dribble cross jab,
or
whatever.
a hezzy.
Or a hezzy or a step back or a side step or just attack the rim, stop middle. There's just so many combinations.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
This is similar. The board games are similar, right? You're thinking ahead. Whether it's cubing, you're thinking way ahead.
Yeah.
Right? Jenga, you're thinking ahead.
Yeah. Mainly all of these games.
These games,
really
playing cards,
ahead.
Uno, you're thinking
Dominoes.
ahead. Great, you're thinking ahead. So this, I feel like, for an athlete, even just a person in life, right? Even in life, you have to think ahead, right? When you go grocery shopping, you got to think ahead.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to need this a week from now or 4 or 5 days from now. I want to cook this. I need these so-called ingredients.
Yep.
So similarly, life is all about planning and thinking ahead. And the person that plans and thinks ahead the farthest and the most strategically in an organized manner is going to succeed.
Yeah. And that's why I love chess so much.
And chess is a beautiful example of that because there's a very popular saying, which is what? They're all playing checkers.
Oh, yeah.
While he is playing or she is playing chess.
Yeah.
Right? I'm playing chess while they're playing checkers.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. It's a very popular saying and it applies so well with this. Imagine, is this a sport?
There's competitions that happen.
Right? There's some really intense competitions and I feel like in some of those, you ever seen the timed ones?
Yeah,
click. Those are crazy.
Yeah.
Those are crazy.
Because you don't have time to really think what you're going to do.
To think how many reps you have to have in to be able to do something like that. Like make a move, hit the timer, his turn, right? And they go back and forth. And that game can finish less than 5 minutes, less than 3 minutes. So it's a truly like remarkable how their brains can work and operate like this. So this is one of my favorite games too. So for facts, right? Board game. Actually, no, I take that back. My favorite board, I don't know if it can be considered a board game. I guess it's a board game. Remember the episode with Tamin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We had this big square board here.
Yeah.
Right? It's called carom board.
Yeah, carom board.
That is my favoritist. It's a word now. Favoritist. Is that a word? It's a word now. That is my mostest favoritist game ever. Yeah. If you never played carom board, please try it.
Even I played it like a little bit. I loved it.
Carom board is basically like billiards or like pool for your fingers.
Yeah.
Right? So you can call it the poor man's billiards. That's carom board. And carom board, man, it's so much fun.
Yep.
But it's all about angles and trajectory and geometry. Like it's beautiful to play.
Yep.
So if you get a chance to get your hands on the carom board, please, indulge yourself, right? Try something new.
Yep.
All right, cool.
So next, let's move into the one over there.
Ooh,
we got
Jenga. Yeah. Jenga, man.
Yeah.
Jenga's fun.
Yeah, it's so fun.
And Jenga has a lot of like trash talking. Well, I think everything has trash talking, but that's like almost like a live action in the sense that you could see the person making the move, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's in suspense. What's about to happen?
Yeah.
Is it gonna fall?
Yeah.
Or is that move gonna really work? And sometimes it does.
Yeah. There's some like crazy moves that worked before.
Seriously. And people do all sorts of crazy like chops sometimes. You ever seen the chop?
Oh, yeah.
People do chops. They do like little pokes.
Yeah.
Then they do the nice and slow twist pull out.
Yeah.
Some people they really inspect the tower to see where it's like architecture, right?
Yeah. Like you feel the pieces and you see the softest one and you take it out.
Where the least friction is, that's the one you want to pull out.
Yep.
And then they have then you do the wiggle.
Yeah, the wiggle.
You can do the pull out.
Yeah.
You can do the chop out, right? The chop. Yeah. You can do. There's just so many different strategic moves.
Yep.
You can make to basically get the block out without the tower toppling over. The goal of the game is what? The tower has to topple over. You don't want to be the guy that topples the tower. Yep. Right? That drops everything. So, and it's like architecture, right? The structural, you want the structure to remain intact as you pull the pieces out below. Yep. Right? And then you stack them on top of each other. And then I think the first 4 layers at the top you cannot touch, and you kind of have to work your way up. I've seen some crazy situations. I'm sure a lot of people have. I'm sure people have a lot of like stories about the crazy family family. Some people do like a family thing with it, right?
Yeah,
Like once a week or whatever it is. Like when the family gets together, like a reunion type.
Yeah.
We gonna play Jenga, and they get those big, huge, giant.
Oh yeah, there's
Jengas.
like those really giant Jengas.
Oh my,
bro.
those are fun.
Yeah.
The real giant ones, I think they're like what, almost like 4 feet,
Yeah.
3 or 4 feet or whatever it is, and the big blocks.
Yeah.
Man,
And
those.
you have to like get out with 2 hands.
Yep. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. And that one you can actually chop, right? You
Yeah.
can do chops
Yeah.
on it. And this one you probably don't want to use that strategy.
Yeah.
You may just chop 2-3 lines together
Yeah.
doing something like that. And that's another one, right? Thinking ahead.
Yep.
Thinking ahead. And then at some point when it gets really slim, like almost like a skeleton, where the guy or the person in front of you, whoever's turn it is, has to pull out that one.
Yeah.
And you pretty much know it's gonna topple. You just don't
Yeah.
want to be in that situation where that's
Yeah.
gonna happen. And set the person up in front of you to be in that situation.
Yeah. Because it's like when I play Jenga, I usually like to make the whole structure stand on one middle piece.
Right at the bottom?
Yep.
Oh man, that's risky. That's risky business.
Yeah. Bottom, or like if the bottom's too tight and there's a lot of friction, like the lowest I can go.
Okay.
And I try to make it stand on one middle piece.
You know what I've been wondering? What strategies do people use to like with card, like you can do card counting. I don't know if you know what card counting is. Like you can, like people when they play different things, like cubing, right?
Yeah.
There's different qualities of cubes which allow for better movement.
Yep.
Do people do something similar with Jenga, right? With those blocks
yeah.
to lessen the amount of friction.
Yeah. I'm sure there are like better versions.
I'm sure there are, or people may do something with the blocks
Yeah.
to help, whatever that is to give them an advantage.
Yep.
I'm just curious. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Jenga, man, that's a great one. I love
Yep.
Jenga. I love Jenga.
All right. So next, let's go into Uno.
Uno. Oh man, Uno.
Yeah.
You know how many people? This game is old as dirt. I think. Well, a lot of these games are old as dirt.
Yeah.
Uno is Uno is this. This is a double pack, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? You got your standard cards. You got your Uno is one of the greatest games ever. Uno. We've had so many matches in college campuses, right? Just guys playing Uno, talking trash, talking smack.
Yeah.
Again, it gets nasty. Oh, it gets nasty. Some people gamble with this, right? I'm not a gambler,
Yeah.
right? We don't gamble, but Uno is one of those games that it's a very simple game.
Yeah.
Yes, you can have modified rules.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
have their own versions of whatever rule it is.
You like stack numbers.
Can you stack, right? Or are you allowed to drop a draw 2 on a draw 4? Right at the end of a game as a last card, can you do that? And so there's a lot of like house rules,
Like minor rules.
correct. I'll call them house rules,
Yeah,
right? Everybody's house has their own rules.
Yeah.
So or remixed rules, whatever they are. Uno is one of those games, right? Like it's a fun game. It's very straightforward.
Yeah.
It's not really a whole lot of yes, a lot of analysis is involved because you have to save your cards for the play that you're gonna have at the end of the game and trying to wonder, all right, well I got a wild here. What does that person across from me? What card do they not have?
Yeah.
That's the color I want to pick, right? The other one is, so the objective of the game is to basically run out of all your cards first.
Yep.
Right? Have the least amount of cards, have 0 cards, and everybody else has cards.
Yep.
You know when it gets a lot of fun? When there's a bunch of people playing.
Yeah.
Right? When it's just 1v1, it's you could you could play around, mess around with that. But I can just keep picking cards up.
Because with a reverse, it's like it goes back to
Correct.
And
But like when you get 4, 5, 6, 7 people, like all our fellas, right, in the colleges, when we used to play in our dorms, man, you got like 7, 8 guys just chilling. Like now we're playing, right? We got some food, we just having a good time, and the smack talk and the reverse, and you drop when everybody has a draw 2, 4, 6, 8. Who's gonna be the one?
That's so fun, bro.
Who's gonna pick up that 12 or that 14 or whatever it is at the end of this? Because they're gonna be in a severe disadvantage now.
They're gonna be cooked.
And then sometimes I don't know if you ever. I'm sure you experienced this. You team up with somebody.
Oh yeah.
To go against somebody.
Yeah, that's happened before.
Because you see they're about to run out of cards. I bet reverse, right? And then skip. Right? Skip.
Yeah.
And then you see that person getting so mad. Like, you're teaming up on me. But that's what makes it so much fun, because that's the trash talk. Like, you can see it coming out. And man, I really, really enjoyed this game. Uno was one of the best games ever.
Yeah.
And then the best part, so when you have 2 cards left, right? and you have to drop that last card and you have one card remaining, you have to say uno.
Yeah.
And now if someone's paying attention, if no one's paying attention, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
But if everyone's paying attention,
you are not getting away with that.
You are not right. So dropping that and saying uno first, you see guys doing stuff like, right? Like,
yeah.
And then there's a fight like, no, you got to drop the card. Like,
yeah,
you can't do that. It's not a pump fake. It's not a pump fake. You can't pump fake this one. Right? So it's just funny to really like be part of that environment.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I actually find it more fun than Jenga, honestly.
Yeah, it's more fun than Jenga.
Just because of all the little nuances of people getting like antsy over like these little tiny minuscule rules that really don't mean anything. In the big, but people they get worked up.
Yeah.
They get worked up. So Uno, man, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
One of my favorite card games for sure.
All right, so now that we're done with Uno, let's go into this whole stack.
Okay, what do we got here?
So we're starting off with checkers.
Checkers, all right. Checkers / chessboard, right? Same concept.
Yeah.
What do we got on the flip? We got a flip side too, I see here.
Yeah, we got Chinese checkers.
Ooh, Chinese checkers, man.
That one is fun.
Chinese checkers are fun. They're fun. So you can play with 6 people at most, right?
Yeah,
there's 6 people. The 6. Basically, the goal is to get your. And this is like we just got the modified version because we didn't want big like boards on over here.
Yeah.
But basically, to take you have little like small like pellets, I would say.
Yep.
They fit into these holes.
Yeah.
And the goal is to get all your pellets from your side to the complete opposite side.
Complete opposite side.
All of them on the other side, and you can jump pellets. There's like a bunch of rules on it.
Yeah.
You can look them up, but man, these are this is a fun game.
It's really fun.
It's not as competitive.
It's not
it's
as
a more like I call it it is strategic.
Yeah, it's strategic for sure.
But it's not a very like you can relax and play this game.
Yeah, you can relax.
At least from what I've experienced, you can relax and play this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. What's next?
This one, that's all you.
That's backgammon, man.
Yeah.
I used to play this when I was younger, right? They had these little like, do you know the carrom board pieces?
Yeah.
They're almost like that, but not quite type pieces, like little cylinder type pieces. And there's I used to play it a lot. And this was a long time ago. So I remember like we used to get competitive, but not really. It's one of those games where you like, honestly, you know what? I'm not even gonna pretend I remember.
Okay.
But it was a game that was this game's been around for a long time.
Okay.
And I just remember we used to play it a lot.
You used to play it a lot?
A lot, yeah. And I just don't remember the rules anymore because I was just really young when I played it.
Okay.
And then we just stopped playing it. So that's that. What is this? Is this we talking about this or not? No? All right. Well, next.
All right, next. This is really fun.
What is
this
that?
is called aeroplane chess.
Okay. Airplane chess?
Yep.
What is that?
So, can I have it?
Sure.
It's like you have your 4 pieces, and you start off in one color. 4 people can play at the max.
Okay.
You need to go this way where the airplane is facing, and you start off and you roll a dice, and based on the number you get, you just keep going and going. And if you get like these arrows, you're trying to get inside here. If you get
in your color though.
Yeah, and
so yellow has to go all the way around to come back up
and come back to the color. And there's like these where you can fly through, and if 2 collide, if two of the pieces collide, it's the one that creates the collision. The other one is out.
Is that you have to start at the top again?
Yep.
Okay, from the beginning again.
And you don't have to go one by one. If there's one like right here for yellow, you can get another yellow.
Got it. So you know what this reminds me of? There's a game, I think this is correct. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
This was or somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. This game called Sorry.
Sorry?
There's a game called Sorry, and it basically reminds me very much of that.
Sorry.
Almost like
Yeah.
And it's same similar concept, similar rules, I believe.
It's
and
similar.
you just go around and you have to get all your pieces in here.
Yeah.
And I think it's the game Sorry. This might be a modified
it's a little
version
bit
of that.
Similar. Yeah.
So okay.
All right.
I don't see myself playing that too much.
Okay.
And nor do I see it getting super competitive.
Yeah, it's not really that competitive.
And I don't see it as a strategic game. It's more of a luck-based game where you probably roll a dice.
Yeah.
Right? You roll a die and see where you land. That's not, to me, I kind of stopped playing those kind of games a while back.
So next, let's go into this one. Yep.
Bruh.
Yep.
That game is as old as dirt.
Snakes and ladders.
Snakes and ladders.
Yep.
Man, this game is lots of memories, man. This game brings back a lot.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me? brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah.
And
I played that a lot with my siblings.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I grew up playing a lot with my siblings, my parents, my cousins, and just friends when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
It's just one of those games again, another luck-based game,
Yeah.
and there's nothing strategic about it,
Yeah. There's not.
right? It's literally
It's a-
based on luck. Whatever you roll,
It's a luck based game. But it
And
does.
that's
It
huge.
does get competitive though.
this one does.
Yeah. It
This
gets
one does get
competitive.
competitive. Actually, it does get very competitive
Yeah.
because if you land on 84 here or 95,
Oh yeah.
well, not 84. I'm sorry. If you land on 95 on that big snake,
Yeah. That.
oh boy, you got to come all the way back down to 24 and work your way up again. Basically, what you're doing here is rolling your die and just going up, right? This
Or
way.
if you get that big blue
and
ladder.
if you get a ladder,
Yeah.
then you go up the ladder.
Yep.
If you get a snake, you come down.
Yep.
The idea is to get to 100,
Yep.
right?
Whoever gets to 100 wins.
The goal was to get to 80.
Oh yeah,
A
80.
straight ladder
You
up
get
to
to
100,
80 straight up.
right? Because even at the end here, when you get to the end, you can't. If you have 98, or no, sorry, let's do 96. That's the safe spot.
Yeah.
If you get 96, you have to roll a 4. You can't roll
4 or 3
6.
or 3. You get 99.
well, okay, if you get to, let's say you get a 99.
Yeah.
You have to roll a 1.
Yeah, you have
can't roll a 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6. So you're kind of stuck there now until
Yeah.
you roll a 1.
Yeah.
And in that attempt to roll a 1, a lot of folks, there's a lot of movement that can happen in between from
Yeah.
people who can catch up to you.
Yeah. Or
And
someone who gets 80.
Let's say you're I'm just about to say, I know we related,
Yeah.
right? You're at 99 and somebody lands at 80. Oh, thanks, right? Now you're really happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can get like that. This
Yeah.
gets a little competitive. I haven't played it in a long time.
Let's look at the flip side though.
What's the flip side?
It's tic-tac-toe.
Ah, man,
Yeah.
tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe is
It's a strategic
classic.
game, but it's like if two smart people play, no one's gonna win.
it's a game that has a lot of draws and ties
Yeah.
than anything else, I think, if
Yeah.
both people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Tic-tac-toe is another game. You don't really need a board for it.
Yeah, you need a board.
Like, you can just get a napkin, a piece
Yeah.
of paper in the sand, in the dirt. You can just play that game
You
with
can just get a
snow,
pencil.
pen. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
You just need to draw, or sometimes we even do it air tic-tac-toe, right?
Air tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, like here's the X, right? All right, well, we can just imagine it.
All right.
It's one of those type of things, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, tic-tac-toe is a classic. That's very much a classic.
All right.
So where are we going next?
Now let's go to the one right next to you.
Oh, playing cards?
Yeah, playing cards.
Man, playing cards. Playing cards are how many folks? They have built entire businesses, entire industries off of playing cards, man. I can see this one's not really shuffled. It's a brand new
Yeah.
deck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a brand new deck. Yeah, it's definitely a brand new deck because it's got some rules in it. But yes, playing cards have been probably one of the oldest games in the history of time.
Yep. There's a lot of games you can play with them.
There's a ton of infinite games. People have made careers out of this.
Careers.
Yes, because this not only is used in games, it's also used as an act for entertainment.
Oh yeah. Magicians.
Magic shows
Yeah.
and just different tricks. People
Yeah.
do street magic.
Yep.
People do magic in Vegas on stages.
Yeah.
Some people make a huge. You're going to be way too young to know this, and I think our older audience, like the older folks, right? The more, our more seasoned folks
Okay.
would know that of this name when I say David Copperfield. Correct. Crickets. Yeah. So that face says it all. David Copperfield, besides having this very interesting and unique hairstyle, also had a very unique and interesting magic show that he used to do. And he would use cards, he would use different props, make people cut in half, disappear, card shows on moving trains, inside a car. Like, he was very creative in his magic shows.
Okay.
And if you get
Were
a
they
chance,
were they realistic?
bro, sometimes you're wondering like, how did you do that? A lot of times you're just left wondering like, how did you do that?
Okay.
And he was good. He was really good, right? More you guys will probably know David Blaine now, right? David Blaine is a little bit more mainstream than him. Probably he's definitely a lot older. Not as old as David Copperfield, but David Blaine will be one of them.
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch, like all these talent shows now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
People use cards and different tricks and whatever it is. So Cards,
different unique things they know.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. And it's beautiful because this is one of those things, like a lot of this is one of those things that it surpasses race, right? It passes a lot of those type of things where it's not anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Any country, any kid, any person, any human, you figure it out. Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I mean, there's also casinos,
Oh yeah.
right? Gambling. I mean, Vegas, anywhere really. People in their homes, they play spades. Spades is a huge
Yeah.
one. If you have ever seen a spades game played amongst a bunch of adults who have money on the line, oh boy, that is some of the nastiest trash talk you will ever hear. People be slamming cards on the table, talking smack. So a spades game can get very, very feisty, very, very quickly.
Okay.
The other one, athletes on planes when they travel.
Oh,
you hear
yeah.
so many stories.
Yeah.
This is it. This makes or breaks teams, man. This thing right
Like
here.
literally.
Yes.
Oh.
This makes or breaks teams because they gamble money. You know, while guys don't pay up, right?
Oh.
The whole Gilbert Arenas thing.
Yeah.
Right here. This right here. You're playing cards that are smack talk, right? Whatever it was, guys teaming up against others. And now before you know it, your favorite team just broke apart because of a card game on a plane that you didn't know about. That you find out later in a documentary. Right? It's crazy. It's crazy, right? Because cards has it's one of the, so play responsibly is what I'll say,
Yeah,
or gamble responsibly if you were to. This is why I just don't get into it. Period.
Yep.
Right? Not that deep. So, sir, anything else you want to say about cards?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Now, next, let's move on to one that I've played a lot before. This is dominoes.
Bro, you know what that looks like? Like a miniature version of like, is that dominoes for like infants? What is that?
So,
Those little tiny little domino pieces. What is that?
yeah, so it's like you split up and there's like usually 2 people playing or like 3, 4 usually, and you split them up. It doesn't have to be all even, just like if there's one extra it's fine, but you split them up. You start off with putting a domino in the middle. Let's pretend it's this one. There's 4 and 2 on each side. You have to, if it's your turn, you have to find a domino which has a 2 or a 4. For example, this one has a 2 and a 0. So you can put that like this, like that, or like that. And it's like if you don't have it, then skips your turn.
So what's the objective? The
The
objective
objective is to run out of your domino.
And then when so everybody gets a set number of dominoes
Yeah,
pieces?
everybody gets a set number, and whoever runs out of dominoes first wins.
Got it. And I'm sure you know this, Jimmy Butler
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Miami Heat.
Yep.
He calls himself, and he said it on camera multiple times, he's the best domino player ever.
Yeah.
There's no better player than him.
Yep.
So I haven't played a whole lot of dominoes. I barely touched it much.
Have you ever played a game?
I have, but not to the point where I knew what I was doing, or I was played enough to get a strategy or to get a feel for it. It was an
Okay.
attempt. I was like, this is cool, but maybe the people I was playing with, it wasn't super competitive. I don't know.
But dominoes, it gets a little bit
I know it does.
competitive.
I know it does.
Yeah.
Guys be getting this. They put money on. There's a lot of things. Yeah, it gets crazy.
Like they put money on usually like any game they play.
Correct. We give money on Uno, right? It's crazy. But dominoes is one of those, again, very strategic games from what I understand.
It's a really strategic game.
Right. So
And it relates to basketball a lot too.
So maybe that might be my next one that I try to get into.
All right. But dominoes, it's a really fun game.
Okay.
Really strategic
Okay.
game.
Okay.
And usually when we have like indoor recess in school, I usually play these with my friends.
Okay.
And it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You win? Or
So
no?
I usually win.
Okay.
But-
Are you like that? You Jimmy at school?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we usually play that, and it's really fun, really competitive.
Okay. Well, what else we got?
All
We
right.
out of games? We
No.
can't be. There's one more game before we go. I know
All right.
we have one last one on the board,
All
on the
right.
table. Connect 4.
Connect 4, yeah.
Connect 4
Yeah.
is awesome.
It's such a competitive game.
It is so competitive. There's so much strategy, trash talk,
Yeah.
and it's usually it's a 1v1,
Yeah,
right? It could be 2v2 if you do a duo like combo,
Maybe 2.
where you have to kind of both have to. But I like it 1v1.
Yeah, 1v1. The best.
It's a great game, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those like you have to think 2, 3, 4, 5 steps
Yeah,
ahead,
A lot of steps ahead.
right? And it looks very simple.
Yeah, but it's not. Not
However,
at all.
comma, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's deep.
Not at
It gets
all.
deep.
Yeah.
It's one of those games. I'm a fan. And I love the big, huge piece one. Like the big one, like the Jenga.
Yeah.
I like the big, huge,
like
the big
pieces.
big cylinder block. Like that. Clank, clank, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
Connect 4 is a really fun game.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, now let's move into my absolute favorite. This is the Rubik's Cube. Yep. And I actually recently learned how to solve it, and it's really fun. First, I didn't think much of it, but then when my friend, really good friend, helped me solve the cube, and he taught me a lot, and it's been really fun. I've been doing it every day since that day.
So I've been watching you do this for a couple years now. And usually you've been doing it casually.
Yeah.
You figured out some of the things on your own, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
And then you learned that there's an art and a science behind it.
Yep.
Right? A strategy, thinking ahead, moves behind it. Then it became really interesting.
Yep.
And then you learned about the quality of cubes. Some cubes move a little bit better than others.
Yeah.
There's these type of cubes. There's 4x4s and 10x10s and
mirror cubes.
Mirror cubes and there's different strategies like such as
there's like beginner method. There's CFOP. There's advanced CFOP. That's all I can remember right now, but there's way more advanced strategies.
Right? Stuff I never knew that existed. I was today years old when I learned that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think you were telling me about like the M and the L. There's different letters.
There's like cube notation, and it's like a move. It's all the letter. So for example, this is R, this is L, and it's like R. After R, if you want, this move is called a R prime. Whenever it's the opposite of the letter, you call it that letter prime. So for example, this is B prime.
See, just the fact that you move it like that. We never used to do that, right? My brain doesn't work like that. So there's a whole art and strategy to like, and I used to watch YouTube videos of guys or whoever, like boys and girls or men and women. They would have this timer.
Oh yeah.
And they would do the cube and they'd be like.
Yeah, it's like the fastest ever been solved is like around 3 seconds.
That's insane.
Yeah, and there's blindfolded solves too.
So the fact that you can take that right there, solve it in 3 seconds,
that's insane.
Is insane. But again, like think about the reps. Think about how much work one must have put in to do that, right?
Yep.
That's remarkable. That's what I love about that, right? Basically the hard work, the grind.
Yep.
To be able to do that. So, and I've been watching you lately, right? You're getting better. You're nowhere near 3 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not near 3 seconds. I think my best is like 1:19 seconds.
1:19 as a 5th grader? Hey man, I'll take it, right? I'll take it. Because that means you're 23 hours and 58-ish and some odd seconds, minutes better than I am. Faster than I am. Because there's no way I'm solving that thing in that quick. And it's algorithms, right? Like,
yeah, there's algorithms.
Because you were talking about that. And I'm like, yo, like, I didn't know.
Because there's like a righty algorithm and it goes like that.
See that right there? I don't know what you just did.
Okay.
But that's how I'm on the basketball court, right? When I talk about details, right? I talk about trajectory and this and that and so similar. This is beautiful. I love this.
Yeah.
And I love this. Like you have helped open up a new world for me as far as cubing is concerned. Because now it hits directly at home. I see you're interested in it. Now I'm like, yo, how do your fingers move like that? What are these like? It's almost like robotic.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
Yep.
And so let me ask you a question. While we're here, I see you have one in your hand.
Yeah.
Can you solve that before we end the episode?
Sure, I'll solve it.
So let's solve it. Can you solve that cube before I wrap up the episode?
Okay, I'll
you
try.
Do that?
I'll try.
Is there anything else that's left?
No, we got everything. Yeah.
We got everything.
Yep.
All right, bet. So, sir, I'm gonna start trying to wrap up. So you can start. Let's set up time real quick. I want you to start now. So as Stage wraps that episode up, man, we went through a lot of games, a lot of nostalgia. Man, this brings me back to my younger days. Hopefully you get a chance to tell us some of your stories, man. Like what do you play spades? Have you had some battles with Uno? How are your dominoes games been? Right? Tell us chess. Does that get competitive for you? Like it's a list so much competition on this table right now that you can do probably a whole episode just on one of these individually because there's so much detail involved. And this is why, along with sports, like board games and strategy and even video games, there's so much strategy in those. We didn't even get into esports yet.
Oh yeah.
But this is just your more tangible live games that you can just have fun with. Sometimes it's okay to put the phone down and just go old school. I love going old school, man. Obviously, right? I'm the old guy. But there's no, for example, right? Reading a book. You can read the audiobook. You can listen to the audiobook. You can do it on your Kindle or your iPad. But there's something different about holding a book and flipping the pages and so forth, right? So I'm really into that kind of stuff. I love the old school stuff. I actually have a topic, an episode that I'm gonna pop up later. I'm gonna totally surprise you with it. But
Done.
You're seriously done?
Yeah.
That quick?
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
stop.
Done.
That's insane. That's insane. Wow. You were telling me you can actually make a different checkerboard.
checkerboard.
Could you make a checkerboard out of that? All right. So as he makes a checkerboard, that's my wrap up. I was just
Done.
I think I bought him too much time. Next time I'm just gonna wrap up. Thanks for joining the episode. Until next time, remember to follow us at Oh Kiddan, all your social media platforms. With that, appreciate it. Until next time, we'll see you at next episode.
Yep.
Yeah. So see you later. Alvida, Avjo, Khuda Hafiz, Sat Shri Akal, at Oh Kiddan. Peace.
Peace.